Well, hello. It is the middle of September, and therefore it is time to do my mid-month check-in on reading. And I'm not totally sure how this is gonna go because there's a chunk of books I can't tell you about yet that I'm gonna allude to. And also, it's just been a weird reading month. Like, it's been pretty productive, but it's just been weird because my mood is really weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, just candidly, I've been having higher pain levels and my, sort of anxiety around that has not been great. So it's been harder for me to focus on reading. So I've read a lot of sort of smaller things. Like I read a couple of Noelle Adams things, a couple of Alexa Riley things. And then I feel like I'm also in the middle of a bunch of big books. So I don't know. This is going to be an interesting check-in. I feel like, so we'll just see how it goes. But the way I usually structure these is I talk about what I've read, what I'm reading right now, and what I might read next. So we will start with what I've read, with what I can tell you about what I've read. So let's start with the physical books, I guess, that I have physically. I actually ended up listening to a lot of this as audio, but I did finally finish North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. And yeah, this is, okay, so my experience of this is that it's a 4-star book on my first read. Like, I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't like a favorite. But it's the kind of book I can certainly see myself rereading. And it's the kind of book that I think as I reread it, I will become more and more fond of it. I also wanted to read this so that I could watch the miniseries, which is, I think, something, anytime this book comes up, people just like immediately are like, you need to watch the miniseries. And I'm like, I know. That's like the whole reason I wanted to read this. So I'm gonna do that. And I think that as I watch that miniseries, it's gonna make me want to reread this. And I can see this kind of getting into the same place in my rereading heart as Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre have, which is sometimes I'll do a full reread, but I often will just reread like my favorite bits of those books throughout the year as sort of a comfort read. So anyway, definitely a hit, and I guess maybe I need to think about more substantial things to say about this for the end of the month, because this was definitely a hit. But yeah, I did finally finish this one. And I also, I wonder, I kept getting pulled away from this because I had library audiobooks coming up. I wonder if I'd been able to just like listen to this straight through, if I would have liked it better. I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk about this more at the end of the month, but I did finally finish North and South. And then in terms of things I have physically, I can't tell you about any of these yet because these are part of a TBR swap that I did with Beautifully Bookish Bethany, and that is going up on Sunday. When you're seeing this, you can see this video on Sunday. What can I tell you about these? I loved one of these, I DNF'd one of these, and the other two are somewhere in between. But it was definitely a really fun project, and I'm very glad that we did it. It just was a fun project start to finish, and it was good. It kind of pushed some things up that I had kind of had on my radar, pushed me to read them, and gave me a couple of things that I would not have tried on my own. So that seems like a successful project. So like I said, definitely check for that vlog. It's going up on Sunday on my channel, reading the books that Bethany gave me, and then I also gave her 4 books, and that vlog will also be going up on Sunday so you can see how she did with the books that I gave her. Was I nice? Was I mean? You will have to tune in and find out. And then in terms of what I read that I did not have physically, the most notable 2, I guess, were that I finished. Guys, let's pause and commemorate this moment. I did actually finish reading for the first time all of my Agatha Christie books that I had not yet read. So I finished the last 2, which were both Tommy and Tuppence ones. One was Postern of Fate, which was awful. Like, it's real bad. I knew going into it was gonna be bad, but it was, I'm gonna have to do some soul searching on if this one is the worst Agatha Christie or the second to worst. Like, it's either it or Passenger to Frankfurt. So I'm gonna think about that eventually when I do a re-ranking of every book she wrote. I will have to settle that question, but it was awful. And then I read Partners in Crime, which was not awful, and I saved that one for my last read because I knew I was gonna like it. It's Christie's short stories, and it was just a delight. Like, it's not my favorite of the Christie short story collections. I definitely prefer some of the other ones, but it was really fun, and it captures She wrote a lot of her short stories in the 20s and 30s, and it definitely captures that very lighthearted Christie vibe that I so much enjoy in the short story collections because it was written in the 20s and it shows Tommy and Tuppence as a young married couple. And I do think it was a real improvement or development on Tommy and Tuppence in their early married life as compared with The Secret Adversary, because I found them to be kind of flat in The Secret Adversary, and I didn't understand why there was so much kind of affection for them based on that book. book. Like, they were fine, but not great. But in Partners in Crime, I can definitely see why they're fan favorites and why she kind of checked back in on them from time to time, because they're just very charming. Like, especially Tuppence, she is so great, and it's very clear to me that she's sort of a Christie stand-in. She also conforms with like the Christie heroine type, and maybe one of the most fleshed out versions of that character type, but yeah, that was definitely one of the like highlights of my reading for the month. I definitely, you know, sad to have finished all of them, but also, you know, feels like a milestone. Like, I've read every Agatha Christie book at least once. I'm gonna go back and do a reread of 4 of them that I just honestly don't remember anything about. And then sometime probably next year, I'm gonna do a full ranking of all of the books. So that was fun. Oh, also, I guess 2 more alsos. One, I'm vlogging that, so that should go up, I think, either later this month or next month, sometime here in the next couple of weeks, whenever I get that footage together. And then I was gonna tell you guys that the International Agatha Christie Festival reached out to me and asked me to make a video for them. And I was so flattered because they were so nice about my content, and that's basically as close as I can get to Agatha Christie herself saying that she likes what I do. So anyway, that was very flattering, but I did make a video for them, so I will link that in the description if you guys want to check out the kind of short video that I made for them, talking about my favorite and least favorite of the recurring detective books. So, and then in terms of other things I've already read, like I said, a lot of just sort of short, light things that I honestly don't really have much to say about, just sort of peppered in here and there. I really have been having trouble focusing on anything. Whatever. I say that. I'm in progress on a lot of books, and I guess this is maybe a good transition to that. I'm in progress on like 5 things that I should be finishing sometime soon that are a little more substantial. Okay, one I actually just started on, but I finally did start it, is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, and honestly, so far, really the only impression I have is that the writing is really nice, but I finally did start this one, guys, yay. It only took me like 3 months to finally get to this, but I'm enjoying it so far. No real impression, but it's a classic. I'm expecting I'm gonna get into it. Audio wise, I am about 25% into Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. This was the next book I was going to read for Operation Sci-Fi. It is a big chunky book. It's like 800 pages. So that's the audiobook I have going right now, and it's good. I'm like really into it, and it's one of the ones that I gave myself permission to DNF if I was not enjoying just because of how big it was. But I don't think I'm going to need to do that. Like I'm into this. I'm enjoying it. It is well, it's like, I guess apocalyptic. It's not post-apocalyptic, it's during the apocalypse. And it is plague-based. So, you know, that hits a little different in 2020 versus 2019. But I'm actually really, I'm into it so far. So I don't know if I was expecting not to like it. I guess I had maybe neutral expectations. Well, and actually no, I was kind of looking forward to it because I was really not enjoying Fall by Neil Stephenson, and it was making me want something kind of post-apocalyptic. So anyway, all that to say, that one is going well so far, so I'm in progress there. I am in progress and very much enjoying One by One by Ruth Ware. This is my first Ruth Ware. This is an isolated closed circle mystery, and I've been kind of waiting to like really be in the mood to read the rest of this because I was very much enjoying what I'd gotten through. And then, like I said, I've just been in sort of a weird reading mood, and I was like, I don't want to like taint this experience with that weird mood. But like I said, I am actually planning, like I expect, unless something goes really wrong, that I'm gonna love this. Like, this is far and away so far my favorite like contemporary isolated closed circle mystery I've read. Like, it's hitting all of the beats that I personally enjoy in them. So looking forward to being in the mood to read this properly and really give it my full attention and like finish on a strong note. So this one is real good so far. Hopefully it's gonna stick the landing, we will see. And then I'm almost done with this one, Trixie and Katya's Guide to Modern Womanhood. This has been a nice one to just sort of pick up and down as I've been in this kind of weird mood. And I wouldn't say that this is like amazing, but it is very, you know, it has moments of their charm and their humor. I frankly just really enjoy some of the pictures in this. Let me find a good one here. Yeah, like it's got these beautiful, pictures of them in fabulous looks, so I've enjoyed that. And I think my favorite sections of these are where they're just literally like writing down them talking back and forth. It feels like a transcript of an episode of So yeah, anyway, I wouldn't say that this is like amazing, but if you are a lover of Trixie and Katya, like this hits the spot in terms of getting an extra dose of them. And then I feel like, am I in progress on something else? I feel like I either am reading something else or I don't know, maybe I'm so all over the place this month, who knows? I feel like there was one other thing I had in progress, but I don't remember what it is right now. So I guess maybe then let's just go ahead and transition into what I might read next. So in terms of things that I have digitally that I am hoping to get to, first of all, The Awakening by Nora Roberts. That is an arc that I have that I'd like to get to this month, and it is a Paranora. So it's sort of one of her more like paranormal type books. So it's the first in a trilogy. Excited. Hopefully I will get to that. The Bright and Breaking Sea by Chloe Neal is I think kind of a high fantasy with strong romantic elements, or high fantasy romance, I'm not totally sure, but it involves a lady sea captain and adventures, so that seems like it'll be fun. And then I did get a digital arc of Ring Shout by Djeli Clark, which is an alternative history with magic, imagining sort of like a literalized version of the KKK spreading evil magic across the US, which I think will be dark, but like seems like something I'd be really into, so I'm excited to get to that. It comes out in October, but I want to go ahead and read it this month. And then it looks like the only other thing digitally I may try to get to is Here, Now, and Then by Mike Chen, which is also on Operation Sci-Fi. I was hoping I can get through 3 Operation Sci-Fi this month and 3 next month. That may be too ambitious based on the weird mood I'm in, so I don't know, but that's at least the plan. And then I think everything else, oh, well no, okay, I do have one other one. So I've started, that's the other one I started but didn't finish. There we go. Cast by Isabella Wilkerson. I started that, and I just have some things from the library right now on audio, so I haven't gotten back to it, but I may be able to wrap up Cast this month. I mean, super, super good, unsurprisingly. The other audio that I have from the library that I want to get to is Feeling Good, and I don't remember the author of this one, but this is one of the kind of like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy type books that I've heard referenced so many times as something for anxiety, and I've always meant to get to. And yeah, I just was like, you know, if it's at the library, like, why don't I just go ahead and read that? Like, I'm doing that. I think I'm trying to like kind of step up some of my anxiety management. So we'll see how that goes. And then a few other books that I have physically that I'm hoping to read. I did get, it's over there on the shelf, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I don't think I'm gonna get to that this month, but maybe. I just don't think so with everything else going on, but I hope too soon because I'm very excited for it and I've seen really good reviews. Okay, so I have an arc of A Golden Fury by Samantha Coho. This is coming out in October, so I want to get to it this month. This is a YA fantasy with like alchemy kind of magic, so I think this should be pretty cool. So I've got that. Our We Need Diverse Romance pick for the month is Rafe, a Buff Male Nanny, which is maybe the best subtitle of a book of all time. I love that, by Rebecca Weatherspoon. So this is the pick for this month, and I've been saving this for like when I need something to pick me up, because I'm thinking I'm really gonna like this. So anyway, I've got this on the docket, and I've got the thread up on Discord if people want to participate in that. Our work book club pick for the month is The Circus by Jonas Carlson. Though I noticed when I was looking at the year it was written that it's copyrighted by somebody named Neil Smith. So I think this is a nom de plume, and I find it amusing that that's what Neil Smith picked as his nom de plume. I think that this is sort of like kind of magical realism-y kind of thing. It's very short, which I appreciate. So actually I need to read this probably tomorrow so that I can talk about it in book club. But yeah, so that's book club pick for the month. The third book of my 3 that I'm trying to read this month for Operation Sci-Fi is The City in the Middle of the Night by Charlie Jane Anders. So this is, I actually have no idea what this is about. Full transparency. January is a dying planet divided between a permanently frozen darkness on one side and blazing endless sunshine on the other. Humanity clings to life, spread across 2 archaic cities built in the sliver of habitable dusk. Okay, so it looks like it's something outer spacey. There's gonna be shenanigans. That's really all I know. So hopefully I'll find out more when I read this as a part of that project. So that's up on the docket. And then my last one is another new release, and this is a good month for this to come out because, like I said, I've been in a weird mood, and this is going to be such a comfort read. Like, I'm very excited for this. And that is Shadows and Death by J.D. Robb. This is the 51st in the In Death series. It took a week for this to get to me for some reason, even though I pre-ordered it, but it's here now. And I'm so excited because I love me some In Death. This is like one of my go-to comfort read kind of books. So very excited for this, and yeah, it seems like this is a good month for this one for me. Alrighty, so kind of like I said, I feel like I'm in a weird scattered headspace with reading and life in general, so hopefully that made some sense, or that I can at least edit it together to make sense. But yeah, that is what I have read, what I'm reading right now, and what I might read next. We'll see how the month progresses and how much more progress I make on some of my challenges and stuff, but regardless, mostly I'm just going to focus on trying to enjoy whatever it is I'm reading and, you know, just making my way through 2020 like the rest of us. I feel like we all just kind of got to put one foot ahead of the other this year, you know, pull our pants on one leg at a time, that kind of mindset. So we'll just keep doing that. Definitely let me know how your reading month is going. If there's anything that you've read that you've particularly enjoyed or particularly not enjoyed, definitely let me know that in the comments below. And yeah, I think that will do it for now. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below, along with a link to register to vote. And if you have already registered to vote, which you should definitely make sure you're on that because we're very quickly coming up on deadlines in most states. If you've already registered, make sure that you are still registered and that you're still in the rolls, and make a plan to vote. I will be early voting in person mid-October, I think is the earliest I can do that, at the smallest polling station in my county. That is my plan. Make yours. And I'll also have maybe a couple of links of things that I've been enjoying or interested in down there as well. So yeah, I think that will do it for now. That seems right. I think that will do it for now. I hope you guys are having an absolutely lovely day today, and I will just talk to you soon. Bye!